So, good morning. I want to try to get this out before I get on this treadmill. Ladies, maintain your integrity. Maintain your integrity. Integrity. I've had several conversations over the years with different people and counsel different people according to my expertise as Dr. Michelle, and whatever, aspect that is that God allows me to. And I saw a video where the man was saying, women be tripping, talking about making men wait 90 days and tripping about how things should be. And he was saying something about what if we start, saying we're not going to take you on no dates for 90 days. We just going to talk on the phone. We might hang out a little bit, but I ain't going to spend no money. Like, what if we flipped it, to change the whole trajectory of how you trying to make it be, right? And I was listening to that and I was like, man, this whole dating thing has become about a give and take thing. If you give, I give. If I take, if I take, you take, and all types of things like that, right? But I want to tell you, woman, by all costs, maintain your integrity, because not only has dating become distorted, it's not about enjoying one another and maintaining the sanctity of love and being there for one another and enjoying one another company and everything. It's become weird. It's become just really something that you caution yourself even wanting to do anymore, right? Because of the simple fact that you got to look out not only for yourself, but it feels like to me sometimes you always got to be on God, depending on who you with the right person you don't, right? It's like you got to worry about being concerned about who you can let around your woman, who you can let around your man, because the thing that I've noticed when dating was the fact that this micro cheating type of thing, right? Where women make themselves available to men who are in relationships to always be there because men usually don't recognize the emotional ties that come with always having somebody in your space when you got a woman, right? A lot of times men don't recognize that women have alter objectives, when they, slide in your DMs, or they, always want to be the friend that's there. We know as women, because we know, I know because of the things I've been through, the things I've seen, the things I've witnessed where men have gone astray and cheated with that woman because they didn't recognize emotional ties come with actually always having another woman in the picture, right? Then we have women who don't hold their men accountable for those type of things, and we have men who really don't notice when their women have completely turned the other direction and gone on about their business, right? So all of that plays a part in just not being honest with one another, not being completely transparent, and really not noticing that things are changing in the relationship. The reason why I say to you in all that to maintain your integrity, woman, is because a lot of times we want to blame other women for the things that's going on in these relationships, right? We want to blame other women for how our men act. We want to blame other women, and we want to try to compete by jumping in the bed with men when it's not, it's not a thing that should be happening, because you then break your covenant with God. You want to play this thing like, I got to be like everybody else. I got to do this like everybody else. And so you drop your integrity, which is very costly, right? You drop your integrity, and then once things don't work out or things aren't going the way you wanted to go, then your heart is damaged to a place that you can't hardly recover because you let your integrity go just to please a man, but you forgot about pleasing God. See, that's why we got to yield to the Spirit of God when it comes to these relationships, because while that man was saying, well, what if I don't take you on dates? What if I don't spend money on you? What if I don't do this? That should not be a component to a healthy relationship. That shouldn't be like, if you don't give me none, I'm not going to do this. Right? You have to maintain your integrity and set the standards and the boundaries, the expectations that you want in a relationship, so that you both can understand that it's not about sex. It's not about what you do for me and I'm going to do it for you. It's not a tit for tat type of thing. Love is basically, when you got two people who want to serve one another for where they're at in their life, right? For where they're at that moment. I want to serve you because I love you. I want to be there for you because you're the one I can't see ever not in my life. I want to be there with you because I want to be there for the long haul, because this is what I know God has for me. I want to be there for you regardless of if you take me on a date or if you don't take me on a date. I want to be there for you because we know how to come back and say, I'm sorry, when it's most important. Somebody is going to make it right. I want to be there for you because you're my best friend. I want to be there for you because, we can converse and talk on a level that's not degrading and breaking another one's spirit and heart to the point of, I got to do this because that's what my flesh say do, right? I want to be there for you because just thinking about the things that make a relationship right, the things that actually will make a relationship work, honest dialogue, respect, knowing the boundaries, maintaining those boundaries. When I'm at 50, you may be at 100. When I'm at 80, you may be at 20. It's being complete together, holding one another down, being able to be transparent with one another, being able to be honest with one another, knowing what it means to have one person feel protected and the other one feel protected at the same cost. Like, what does security look like to you? What does respect look like to you? We have got so blindsided by society that we think that everybody, first of all, we forget that it's this thing called masculine energy, where women are described now as masculine energy. A woman don't need a man. You can hold yourself. You can do for yourself. You can do this. You can do that. But women's shoulders weren't built to take the same things that men's shoulders take. You understand what I'm saying? Just like for a woman, where our natural paternal instincts are so on point. Like, I think for most mothers, it's like easy to multitask, do this, and do that. Even though mothering is a job, right? It is. I can honestly say it is more of the emotional thing of raising children than it actually was a physical type of thing, because you're built for that. You're built to nurture and love. And whereas a man, normally, it used to be a man was normally built for the be able to carry the family, shoulders, able to carry the family and basically move off of that. Right. Well, now it's a little twisted, everybody want to kind of like be the man. Everybody kind of want to be this person, right? Well, I'm content in my feminine energy. I really am, and I'm content in being feminine. I'm content being soft. You understand? And it's not because I don't want to do this or I don't want to have to carry this up. I've done all that in my life. I've done it all. And I've done it all maintaining my feminine energy, right? I've held my household down and ran a 5-bedroom house with 2 kids in it by myself. I've held it down and broke barriers and accomplished goals and things like that. I've done all that. And I maintain my soft energy in the same token, even though I had to sometimes feel like I was carrying some masculine things, right? But my point to you is that if we just can get back to the place where we understand that Maintaining your integrity will help you get through a whole lot of things in life. I'm not telling you what I don't know. I'm not telling you what I have not experienced. I'm not telling you what I'm not going through. I strongly believe that if I had not maintained my integrity, if I do not maintain my integrity, not only would Satan devise, tear down, and destroy you in your emotional state when you're depressed and unhappy and heartbroken and spirit broken, he'll take you out of here. There's a reason why so many people take their lives, right? But if you maintain your integrity and give God just a little bit of you, if you put God first, have the faith of a mustard seed. That's all you need to move mountains. Then when things happen to you in your life, what you find yourself going through is actually realizing that God is holding you in the midst of everything. So it does not matter if somebody doesn't do something for you. It does not matter if somebody, what I'm saying, it matters, but what happens is that you find a strength that you didn't know you had, right? So I'm passing wisdom on, really, I think to my, not just my younger women, but to everybody, to maintain your integrity. If you got to date this girl, or if you got to date this woman and pour into her before you see the investment come back, or you may think it may be a short time for you see that investment, then do what you got to do, because remember, what you pour out is what you get back, right? What you sow is what you reap. So stop being afraid all the time to just let go and let God, right? Because God is waiting on the other side for you to just trust him, because he has what he has for you is amazing, right? And I have never, been in something where I felt like my investment was a waste, because it was a beautiful experience for me, right? I've never been into something that I had to go back and say, man, you really didn't do that right. I've had some situations where I try to take accountability for some things just to be, just to make sure that I was being accountable for my part. Because anytime you look at something and things didn't go the way you wanted to go, you always got to look back at yourself and take accountability for your part. But do not be misled and manipulated and take things that does not belong to you. Sometimes people allow you to take things that they decided on just to be the scapegoat, because people can't look at themselves in the face and say, I really messed that up. I really did that. I really didn't put God first in any of those things that I did, right? So for me, even though I'm not perfect, I do stop and say, okay, let me pat myself on the back for this. And at the same time, I'd be like, God, help me where I fell short. So maintain your integrity. And in maintaining your integrity, that means you got to yield. Like when you're driving on the highway, right? And a car, you're coming off and it says yield to let ongoing traffic come, right? It's almost like that. You got to yield to God. Yield to God so that, you can understand that God is only trying to keep you safe. That God is only trying to keep you from making a mistake. That God is really trying to protect you from yourself, right? And a lot of times we don't want to do that because we don't see anybody else yielding, or we feel like, well, why do I have to be the one, to do this? Well, why do I have to be different? Listen, I'm going to tell you, I never felt like that, I'm sorry guys, like I actually belong, like I've always felt like the black sheep, no matter what. But I've also known that I've always been called upon and set upon because of the things that God has for me and the call on my life, right? So I can honestly say that yielding to God has always been the beneficial part to everything that I do in my life, and I don't regret it. So have some integrity. Don't go out here and because he did it, I'm going to do it. Don't go out here because she did it, I'm going to do it. Don't go out here and lose your integrity and this relationship stuff, that's going on, because of the simple fact of the matter is that we're dealing with a problem where people really don't I don't know why this thing is not starting. I don't know why we're dealing with, okay, maybe it's ready to start now. I don't know why we're dealing with a society now and everything is so messed up. It's an error. Everything is so messed up where people just cold. People just cold. I don't even understand how people sleep at night, right? But far be it for me to, let's move somewhere else, guys. Far be it for me to worry about why people don't have a conscience, right? I just know that when it comes to actually getting through life, the thing that I can definitely pass on to you in honesty is that fact that it's God for me. It's God for me, and it's maintaining my integrity for me. Because when I tell you that it is a mess out here, it's a mess out here. It's a mess out here. And the thing that gets me the most is the fact that not only, it used to be just that women used to be slick. You know, women do things, and that bothers me. That bothers me to the point where I hate the fact that I can see stuff a mile away. I see when women are doing stuff to me. I see when people can't be trusted. I see it and I know it. I see things. I know things. Like, it bothers me because it's a cursing, but it's a blessing, but it's a curse at the same time. Like, God has really blessed me to see a lot of things, and at the same time, not even open my mouth about a lot of things. I absorb stuff, and I watch, and I don't say anything. But we got to get back to God, man. We got to get back to God. Women got to stop stabbing each other in the back and not being happy and jealous and doing stuff to make other women, like, when I tell you I'm a fool as a grown woman and I've seen a lot and know a lot, and God gave me an exceptional amount of intelligence and wisdom, yeah, I don't play those type of games. I'm exhausted, but I just wanted to tell you, like, and men do it too. Men do it too. I don't know why you was with him. I don't know why you with him. I don't know why you this. You know, men hate on each other in a different way. And then one of the crazy things is men would tell on other men once the opportunity to come and be like, well, you know, this dude, this and that and everything. So men do it too. But anyway, I am going to get my exercise on, and I'm not going to be able to do that and really do what I got to do. I'm talking, even though I'm just cruising right now. I wanted to jump on and definitely tell you that to get through, right, what you're going through, you got to maintain your integrity. You got to yield to God, trust your instincts and your guts, and, you know, peace, 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 peace. You gotta find your peace, right? Whatever that may look like for you. One of the hardest things that I'm finding for me is that finding my peace, you know, means a lot of times being honest with what it actually is, you know, what actually is. And once you know your peace, right, you're able to find your peace easier because you've been there before. You know where to go to find your peace. And for me, it's in the presence of God, right? Talking to God, hearing from God, yielding to God, like treating people like I don't want to be treated, right? Respectfully. So when somebody disrespects you, it don't mean you gotta disrespect them back, right? When somebody has hurt you, it doesn't mean that you gotta go out your way to try to hurt them back. You don't do any of that. So that comes with maturity and time as well. But I just wanted to tell you guys to maintain your integrity. I know it sounds like a small thing. I know that a lot of people you know, may feel like, well, darn, how I do that because I did this. Well, start today. Start today. Yeah, that's all I want, because I don't even want to talk no more about nothing else. But I felt it in my spirit to tell, chickers, maintain your integrity, all right? Let God handle the rest. And let's raise the bar. Let's raise the bar. We tripping. And I'm not even just, I always say we, but I don't really have nothing to do with this part, with how crazy men and women treat each other. It's almost like a war with one another, right? But I can't wait till I get the moment, and I am going to make it happen. I've decided I'm going to start doing some conferences again. The moment when I can get a bunch of women in the room and really talk to these chicks, talk to these other women like, we have got to do better. We have got to do better. But this is Dr. Michelle. Y'all have a good one as I, speed up this treadmill and get my heart pumping. Yes. Oops.